So I was a little upset yesterday because I found out that my ex has a job, and when he left me, he was going on and on about the Illuminati and how they wouldn't allow him to make money anymore. Um, I guess because something just really like crazy sounding stuff. And he talked in this way that used a lot of metaphors that were very literal to him. And he used that for why he had to divorce me and why he had to leave me. And we didn't even fight or anything like that. And I was very confused by his behavior, by the way he was acting, because he always acted so concerned about who I was associating with, and then he just left. Like, so then what, you leave me without that support? But the thing that really irritates me now is the fact that after believing all that, insisting on the own nothing and be happy and the great reset and all this craziness that he said he believed in, he's now working again for an embedded systems company. And get this, Ohio of all places. And we know Ohio is the butt of all jokes on the internet. And I guess he moved back in with his mom. I'm not sure if he's still living with his mom or he was there at one point, but I don't know why I should even want him back, because he was a total slob and he left monster cans everywhere and they were very sticky and gross and disgusting. And I guess the thing is, when he was getting the divorce, people thought that he was never going to be able to make money just because of how crazy he sounded and how crazy he was. And how he, had been on antipsychotics as a teenager. So they thought, well, he must really be psychotic. But what I think a lot of people don't realize is a lot of teenagers are prescribed these drugs because they have dysfunctional families, and their family just wants them to shut up about how dysfunctional their family is. So it's really not a sign that somebody is actually psychotic. It more has to do with dysfunctional family dynamics. And a lot of people don't like to see that because they don't like to think that there's something wrong with the mental health system, when really there is. And I guess I'm just kind of disgusted at that whole perception and how so many people are fooled by this stuff. And as I've been researching about complex post-traumatic stress disorder on the internet to try to understand a little bit more about my ex's thinking and how people got so caught up in it, one of the things I learned about complex post-traumatic stress disorder is these people are very adept at lying because they learn it as a survival skill, because the people in their family basically can't handle the truth. So they lie essentially to get on with their dysfunctional parents and their dysfunctional family in general. And so then, because their whole life is not what you would expect, they just pick up this habit of lying to everybody about things because it's easier than coming up with a truthful explanation, because that's what people expect. So they give the expected answer so that they don't have to have the deeper conversation. And I tried to limit like how much like mental health videos and stuff I watch, because I don't really believe in a lot of that stuff. But understanding that was like really eye-opening to me, because you know, you probably know some people with this and you probably don't even realize that they have it, and that it's affecting their behavior and relationships in ways that you might not think. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad people like my ex. But what it does mean is lots of dysfunctional relationships can be had from those types of trauma patterns, because they've never even learned what a functional relationship is. So if they don't know what a functional relationship is, then like how can they have something that they've never seen modeled for them? It just doesn't make sense. And one of the things that keeps people in these patterns is the gaslighting of somebody telling this person that other people are bad and shouldn't be listened to, and kind of this person kind of gatekeeping and telling somebody like, you know, what's bad and what's good and all of this stuff. And so one of the ways to break out of these kinds of patterns of dysfunctional relationships is just go talk to and have conversations with the people that the other people in your life tell you not to do that with. Like, just do it. Just do it. That's exactly what you should be doing. And even if they threaten to leave your life, good fucking riddance. I know, I just swore. Because that's a thing that happens to people. And the other thing I found out is that sometimes people with these trauma patterns, when they try something like therapy, it just reinforces the toxic relationship patterns, because they end up being in a codependent relationship with their therapist, whereas somebody who doesn't have these same kind of patterns doesn't tend to end up in that same kind of relationship. Because once you've seen one bad relationship, then it's easy to just kind of model it across the board with all your relationships. And so instead of looking at people as bad or good, it's better to look at the relationship itself and ask if it's really serving you or not. And I know this video kind of got into a deep topic, and you know, not everybody's going to want to see this, because my channel is mostly about growing audiences and your mindset and your habits and all of that fun stuff. But I just felt like I needed to be real and bring this up today.